IPMNation.com.
Live from the Outpost Studios in Columbus, Ohio, you're listening to All Natural Being with Brian Brawdy. Brought to you by IPMNation.com. Get ready for the gong heard round the world.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
All Natural Being. Warning, All Natural Being with Brian Brawdy is designed to shake your sense of self to the core.
It's full contact psychology with an empowering twist, a philosophical loofah for your soul.
For those of you not ready or comfortable releasing your inner superhuman, listener discretion is advised.
Here's your host,
Brian Brawdy.
Good morning and welcome. Let me check a quick check. Episode 321. I don't know how I pulled that off. 321 of All Natural Being. Let me tell you something else I don't know how we pulled off. The internet signal has been, I thought yesterday when we first started this, I thought maybe the internet signal was like, oh, it was cutting out because everybody and their brother was, on the internet doing this and doing that. Well, turns out, no, that's not the case. That's not the case at all. There's something up with the internet between here and Facebook. Thank you, sir, so very much. Thank you very much. Would you like to come? I have an executive producer that's in here this morning. You can say hello to everyone. Hold on. Oh, you can sit here for just a minute. There you go. All right. Can you say hi?
Hi.
Hi, everybody. Now, let me see. We have a caller. Hold on. You might be able to say hello. Let's see who this is. Good morning. Welcome to All Natural Being. Who's with us?
This is Subi.
Hey, guess what? Can you say hi, Miss Sue?
Hi, Miss Sue.
Hi, is it Brooks or Blyden?
It's Blyden. Can you say, have a nice day, Miss Sue? What are you going to tell her? Oh.
I remember when you and Eden came to our old house and visited us, and I have a classmate named Eden in my school.
Yes.
Oh, wow. Very cool. So can Miss Sue and Miss Eden come to see us again sometime soon? Can you tell them that? Say, come on and see me.
Want to see me soon?
We will try. We will try.
Sounds good. She said she'll try. She'll try. Thank you, sir, very much. I appreciate it. Good morning, Sue. How are you? Good morning. Blyden says, good morning, Miss Sue.
Good morning. Good morning.
How are you, my friend?
Doing well.
Good.
Doing well.
Good. Well, I've been looking at all the pictures, and it looks like everyone's having fun. Again, I wear a pair of black Mickey Mouse ears, and people make fun of me. David pulls off the pink ones. He can just do it. That's all I'm saying. He can do it.
In the mood, It's all in the mood.
So did I see he's up on stage? He's yucking it up with cartoon characters. Yeah. I mean, he's just getting into the gig, isn't he?
He has been chosen twice now for shows that we've attended.
Very nice.
Funny. Yeah.
Very nice.
The big guy in the corner. Yeah, come on up.
Very cool.
Security guard yesterday, and he was part of the Indiana Jones show before that. So
oh, very cool.
He's having a blast.
Good. You can see. Can I just say one thing? It does me, yeah. I feel great because you mean so much to me. To see him smiling ear to ear, it's a good feeling, right? It's I keep looking at the schedule all night long because we're in the closing 1 hour and 51 minutes. You probably can't see the monitor.
I can't.
We can't see the monitor, but I would throw up the Encourage logo. But since you can't see it, it's brilliant. It's huge. 3D Technicolor,
sure.
right?
Yeah,
So now listen. I know you're see, let me just tell you, I don't want to say where you are because I don't want anyone to know where you're not, right? So that's why for me, I'm just
Well,
like,
it's all over Facebook where
well, okay, then, yeah, right? Because that'll be only like, really, Bri, you had to tell everyone we were on vacation, and so I go,
no.
I'm not, I don't want to, I'm not in. So
all
that, but
security cameras are on.
okay, good.
Working.
Good the hell with them.
So-
Good. Well, enjoy it. And but I don't want to hold you all morning. So I wanted to get a chance to talk. I wanted to talk a little bit. Ashley called in this morning
Right.
at 5:00 to check on me, and she said, "Yeah, Brian sits up straight when Sue walks into the room, right?" So she's like, "No, what Sue says goes in this house, right?" So she's like,
Please.
"No, she absolutely knows." So I thought if we could spend a few minutes, I've said to everyone, I get this crazy thing where I did WGN TV and I built an igloo and slept outside overnight, all this craziness, right?
Right.
But it came a point to where at one point I met Joe Ahern, name you'll remember, and he's like, "Hey, you want to, let me introduce you to Fran," and Fran introduced me to Chris, and do you want to be a morning show reporter? And I'm like, well, sure. That sounds like a cool gig, right? I had no clue that they just weren't ready for me, right? Or I wasn't ready for them. I don't know how it worked out, but I'd throw snowballs at the camera. I got a fight with Susan, and I do all kinds of things, Joni, all of it.
Right.
But one day, Chris calls and goes, and he was so diplomatic about it. He goes, "Well, I'm really going to up your game." And he says, "I just think you need a producer on site with you." And I go, "Great. I love it." And that was the first morning we met, was like an outdoor RV festival up in Rosemont, I believe it was. And that was the first time I would meet my new boss, and it was you. And it was the coolest time I've had. It was the coolest time I've had on camera. And just our friendship. Now, you should know that years later, not that many years later, but years later, Sue has been with me through brain surgery. She's helped me in all kinds of ways in terms of my recovery and everything else. But it all started because, and you were going to run and ask Chris, it all started because Mr. Selfridge was like, "Yeah, no, you need a handler. You need some bumpers, right?"
He never said that.
Yeah, whatever. Now you're just drinking the Disney World. Is it Disney World or Disneyland? I can't tell. Which is
World.
Disney World? Land's out west?
Yeah.
Okay, so Disney World. You're just drinking the Kool-Aid there. But it's been a thrill. I've just been a thrill knowing you and working with you and growing, having a friendship grow with you, because I have the time of my life when you and I talk. There are times where, where I came up with the virtual hitchhiker?
Where?
Hanging out with you while you're driving to work.
driving?
Oh yeah, you driving, and I go, "How much long? Did you call me like right before you got on the highway, or are you getting ready to pull in the parking garage?" Right? And when you go, I'm like a mile from the parking garage, I'm like, "What the hell, Sue? You can't call me when you get on the highway. I got 45 minutes. We could have been hanging out." So I really thank you for all those times, and you've been with me through some great experiences. And I remember when I was having the shunt surgery, and I was like, "Sue, I don't think I want to do this. Would you mind just turning around and take me out of here?" And you were like, "No, you're doing it." Right. So stop your whining and get in there and get cut. Right. So I really do appreciate your opinion. And I really do. As Ashley says, Brian sits up straight when Sue walks into the room. So can you give in the time, and now will we get a chance to talk to your brother from Encourage? Because I don't want to blow this talking about our friendship.
Call.
If he's going to call in. Okay, groovy. So can you give me a thought or two, or some of the things that you remember about just over the years, you and I running around?
Well, my first memory of you is we were doing a rock climbing. There was a new rock climbing facility. I think it was Lifetime Fitness. And, I'd show up in my usual garb, cape with, these stiletto boots and, leather
You looked
pants,
great.
whatever. And,
you looked great, just for the record.
And so you, in your usual garb of
Stiletto boots,
shorts.
cape. Same
Right,
thing.
exactly. And you take one look at me, and you're like, "So, I guess you're not climbing." And I was like, "Yeah, I don't climb."
Yeah, don't.
Brian,
Yeah, right. I don't do that, darling. Yes, right.
Right. And I just remember the crew because I wasn't quite sure who you were, what you were doing. And I was like, "Well, what can you tell me about this guy?" What, So I said, "Well, Brian, you just got to meet him. You just got to meet him." I was like, "Oh God, am I going to hate this guy?" They're like, "No,
yeah.
he's just different." And the difference is, you didn't go to journalism school.
Right.
You didn't take the typical path to
Right.
being on air. So
Right.
you were and are still a regular guy. You're not worried about what you look like.
Right.
You're not worried about,
Right.
am I standing right? You are just you. And that's what is so great about you, that you just give it your all every time.
Well, thank you, my friend, but it got me in a lot of trouble, as you remember.
know.
It got me.
Yeah. All right.
The number of times I would be on the phone, and Joe Ahern would be on one phone, and I'd do something, and he'd go, "You're getting another call, aren't you?" And I go, "Yeah." And I remember one time he goes, "They're screaming at you, aren't they?" And I go, "Yeah." And he goes, "That's exactly what I pay you for." And then he hung up. He goes, "I'll let you get to the other call, Bri." And he hung up. And I'd be getting reamed for something, right? Like that one time at the Taste of Chicago where that lady walked by with a piece of cheesecake and I took my fork and tasted it. Right? I get yelled at for that. I get Antonio Mora.
Or,
and, any of the
tug
stuff.
of war. Brian, you can't throw your microphone down and jump into the tug of war.
You would have done the same thing. I took a lot of crap for that, but I was just trying to help, the underdogs, and I just lost my mind. We should have known then, Sue, that I had a tumor, right? Because I just lost my mind. I just lost my mind. But you would be there.
You're always been so positive and so encouraging, and just, like I would tell you all the time, I'd get off the phone with you and be like, "Yeah, I could go rule the world." Because you're just always so uplifting and so positive, and to anyone in your circle and beyond.
Well, thank you, my friend, very much. I appreciate it. And there were some other things that we worked on. Can I tell you one of my favorite ones?
What's that?
That when I say it to you, and I found the plaque the other day, which is why it's front and center in my mind, but the bicycle race.
Oh, gosh.
Because, right, it was it was like, "Yeah, okay, I'll see you there." And you were like, "Yeah, all right." But I think from that...
Well, you have to set up the story. So there was a bicycle race between the media.
The media. Like,
and
I fit
I think
in.
You raced from, I believe it was Daily Plaza. You started in...
Oh, it started in Chinatown. No, we started down...
Right.
Yeah, we started down with the South Side baseball team plays.
Right.
The White Sox.
I remember you're like, "I'm going to win this." And I'm like, "Yeah, okay, well, I'll drop you off at the start line." You're like, "No, I'm going to win." I'm
Right.
like, "Okay, well, I'll meet up with you later today sometime." Well, bye. Have a good ride.
Have a good ride. Yeah, break a leg.
Have a good ride.
Jackass.
Right. "No,
Right.
I'm going to win. I know I can win this." I'm like, "Okay.
Right.
Sure you will." Right. And got it. Didn't you win it?
Well, here's the thing. It was a memorial ride. So it was my friend, and it was an honor. He had passed away. And I was like, "Look, I'm going to do what I can to win this for him." And I remember pulling into Daily Plaza, and I knew at the time I had known the mayor, and he was like, I can't believe you won." I go, "I just wasn't going to lose, right? There was no way because all the media personalities, right? I wasn't a media personality, and I'm not losing. I'm just not going to lose to a media personality, right? I'm just, how could I show my face if I let that happen?" And it was my friend, and it was memorial, that kind of thing. But I always enjoyed the look on your face when you go, "What are you doing up on stage?" "I'm sorry, what?" And they go, "There's a camera," because everyone else is there covering it, right? Because I had to give a little speech, and I had to do the whole shit. You're like, "Bri, come on. What are you doing here? We got stuff to do." And I go, "Oh, I'm sorry. Well, I'm going to accept the award." And you were like, "What?" So
exactly.
That's why that sticks out. I got a little placard, a little something like that. But that's why that most certainly sticks out in my mind.
It really is the epitome of you, because you say the most random stuff. I'm like, "Yeah, okay." But now I've gotten to the point where I'm just like, it's crazy, but maybe we'll do it. I don't know. Maybe it'll happen. Maybe it'll work out.
Well, Ashley said
Let's
that
do
the
it.
other day. She said, you just can't ever just do something.
No.
Right?
No.
But it was
Right.
so sweet of her to call this morning at 5:00 because I
know.
never anticipated that she would call and
great.
and just to check
And I
on
just
me.
happened to wake up at that time. Yeah.
I know. It was so wild. I go, all right, is Sue going to try to call now? Which is fine because I figured you've got things going on. There's probably big breakfast. There's like a chocolate fountain.
Yeah.
I'm thinking you've got all
Oh,
those
my
things, all those things going
Yeah.
on. I would think. All right. So before we get a chance, I want to talk about, if it's cool, I want to talk about Encourage when your brother calls in.
Yeah.
But so what else have you been focused on? What else are you working on? As you know, we have a placard that says customer satisfaction is our number one goal for this 24 hours.
Right.
So I'm hoping that we can distill to the people listening some things that they could go, oh yeah, you know what? I could apply that in my life. So what's been going on? What do you want to share with the listeners?
This has been quite a year for me.
Okay.
We bought a new house.
True.
Eden turning 4.
Mm-hmm.
But my big thing was I just wanted to get partially back, or anywhere close to back to being my normal self. And my normal self was somebody who had energy and wanted to get up and do things and go walk, and being close to 300 pounds, that just wasn't happening for me. And I had tried everything. I tried Weight Watchers and lost weight. I tried Jenny Craig and lost weight, but not, maybe 15 pounds here, 20 pounds here.
Sure.
And I just needed something extra. I had been an athlete, and so like from birth all the way through college, and just stopped once I got to, adulthood, and just didn't have the motivation. I'm an A-type personality, a journalist, but when it came to my weight, I just couldn't make it click for whatever reason. And so I started looking probably, I'd say maybe like 5 or 6 years ago, into bariatric surgery.
Okay.
Kind of looked into it and didn't give it much thought after that. And then I talked to another producer at CBS where she had it done, a different type. And I saw, the great results that she had. And, it was just weird. It was just such a fleeting thought. I saw her and I was like, you know what, maybe I should check into that again.
Okay.
And it was one of those things, Brian, where I checked into it again, and it just snowballed from there. The doctor was like, yeah, come on in. We'll chat. We chatted. We get to the next process, which is let's get some information about it. And then the next thing I know, boom, we're doing it. And I am full on in. And it took about, I would say, 6 to 7 months. Every hospital or program is different. I really liked the program I was in, the hospital I was with, because this program, they teach you sounds silly, I'm 47 years old, but they teach you basic health. Here's what you should be eating. Here's what you shouldn't be eating. Here's why it works this way in your body. Here's why you need to exercise. And I know people watching or listening may say, really? You didn't know that at 47? I did, but it just...
Dude, I didn't know you were 47. You don't look 47 at all. I'm sorry. You said, well, at 47, I'm like... My mind just left. So 47. Well, can I just tell you, let me just say this to you, and it's probably no help, right? Because it's coming from Brian, so what help do I ever give anybody? But your smile was always the most vibrant smile in the room. So whatever else you can think about that, I was always drawn because you were always laughing. Now, it could be because I was just a screw-up and the side eye and all those other things, right? But that laugh of yours, that smile of yours, that's all I honestly, you were my friend, and I was just drawn. Your smile is infectious. So that okay, so I didn't mean to interrupt, but I wanted you, when you said 47, I'm like, this is not 47. If you're going to call the show, at least tell the truth. I never would have guessed that.
No.
I know when your birthday is, but I never put the years to it, I guess is what I'm saying.
No. So, at this point in my life, I just wanted to really retrain myself and retrain my body and my mind, my soul, really.
Okay.
Which is my brother's whole. And I had lost about 40 pounds maybe 15 years ago with my brother.
Okay.
And he just called me out of the blue one day and he said, Are you ready? And I was like, huh? What?
Yeah.
And the second time you said it, it just clicked for whatever reason. I was
Okay.
like, yep. I knew exactly what he was talking about. And,
Okay.
and he wasn't, although he had lost, I don't even know how much he had lost, like 40, 50 pounds years and years and years ago before this.
Okay.
He has never said anything to me about my weight. He's one of those people who works out all the time. He's a workoutaholic, is what I call him. And eats right, but is not a preachy kind of person. You know what I mean? Those kind of people who, once they find the workout world or whatever,
the fountain of youth, whatever the fountain of youth is, right? That's all you hear about.
Preach it to you, right? They have to preach it to you, and it's like, really, shut up, get it out. He's never been like that. But once he called and said, "Are you ready?" and I said, "Yes." He committed to talk to me once a week, and he would talk to me once a week, and we would just talk about whatever. It wasn't necessarily weight. It would just be, hey, what are you doing for yourself today? And that's what really made me think. I had gotten out of what am I doing for myself? 2 kids and a husband and everything for them, but I was putting myself, fourth on the list. And that's not to say that you have to be selfish and put yourself first.
Right.
But you have, it's just like when you get on a flight.
Right. Every so often you can put yourself first. Every so often you can put yourself first, right? Henry reminded me this morning, if you're on an airplane, they say, hey, if something happens, put your mask on first and then help everyone else around you. Yeah.
And then
same thing.
Right.
Okay.
And I had forgotten that rule. And I, present day, remembered that talk that he gave me. You have to put yourself first. You have to take care of yourself first. And so that drove me to the bariatric world. Okay. And it has truly worked wonders, not just physically, but mentally. I'm not in need of a cheeseburger every day or a cookie. And even though I'm surrounded by it, it just doesn't, if I want something, I'll have it. But I can't indulge. I can have a tiny piece of it, and that's what I needed. I really needed something to keep me in check. I'm not saying that it works for everyone, but it works for me, and it's fabulous. And I feel so much better. I can run up like the stairs and hang out with my 4-year-old, and just really, I'm back to myself. And it's funny because a lot of people say, "You look so happy," and I was like, do I? I didn't realize that I looked sad before, but, maybe I did. I don't know. But through my brother's new company, EncourageX.com, it has truly, it's carried on. Just my excitement for life and my approach for just being happy now.
Okay.
It's a part of EncourageX.com. And with that, it's such a simple concept. It really is. Just encouraging people in whatever they may need. Because sometimes you find it difficult to, someone has gone through something, whether it's a tragedy or something wonderful, like a birth of a child, and someone's just not sure what to say to someone.
Sure.
You have something like EncourageX.com where you can go on there and let's say it's someone who had the death of a family member, and you want to say the right things, you can go to this website and it helps you. And I know it sounds silly, or may sound very simplistic, but you can go to the site and it says, things that we recommend that you could say. Things that may not be as encouraging as you think.
Okay.
You just want to say the right thing, and you just want to be there for your friend. And these are things that are curated by professionals who have gone through these things.
Right.
And they can help you find the right things to say. And it's free. And
that's amazing.
It helps you, it really is. And it helps you help someone else. And I'll give you an example. I'm also an adjunct professor. So I have a lot of students that I encourage. So I mentor some well after they are, out of school. And I have one in particular who just started a job at my station where I first started. So I have wrapped my arms around her. And so every week through encourageus.com, I've gone in and I can set up, encouraging words and memes that I can send to her once a week or twice a week or once a month or every day if I wanted to. And it's a program that I love it because it's kind of like shopping for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I like that meme. I like what that says. Okay, I'll click that for her. And you can buy things through Amazon. It's connected to the website if you want. You don't have to.
Right.
But like I sent her on her first day of work, she received a little Starbucks gift card.
Oh, cool.
Go have a cup of coffee and go tackle the day. And you can set up little reminders so you don't have to remember, oh, wait, did I send her this last Monday? It's all set for you and it's just a click away. And it's so easy. It's just simple. It's encouraging. And I love when she gets her little, because I'll get an alert saying,
Sure.
Kiana has received her encouragement for the day. And then she'll respond back, thank you so much, Professor. You just don't understand. I needed this today. It's so wonderful.
That's great.
And it makes me feel like I'm doing something to help her. I mean, of course, I could do it without.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, I could do that without EncourageX.com, but it's just a simple way for me to help someone. I help a lot of people, actually, because I can set up different profiles for people, and it's not just, tragic events. It could be the birth of a child, it could be the adoption of a child. It could be someone, I have a cousin who I set up on my program. She's trying to buy a house. I know how grueling and taxing that can be.
Sure.
And so it's so much fun, really, just for me to put a smile on somebody's face for a day and encourage someone. It's just, to me, I feel like it's the best thing you could do for someone, for that, just encouraging somebody and really helping somebody. What's the bad part about doing that? Nothing.
I don't think there's a bad part about it at all. Yeah,
Nothing
absolutely.
at all.
Absolutely. And you don't want to be like me, because sometimes you mean well, and you could just say the wrong thing. Like I remember not too long ago, my Ashley's stepfather died, and it was probably 2 or 3 weeks later. And I was sitting around and her mom, and we were sitting around, and I said, oh, well, how's everything going? And she goes, well, it's this and that. And I go, oh, well, I took the liberty of getting you a year-long subscription to Senior Mingle.
Oh, God.
Well, exactly. I meant it as a joke. Everyone laughed. She laughed, very graciously laughed. And then Ashley said, do you think maybe that was a bit soon? And I go, I don't have a filter. I didn't realize the soon thing. But like now with Encourage, you could EncourageX.com. You don't have to worry about saying the wrong thing. I thought Senior Mingle was hysterical, right? And what I wanted in that moment was a little bit of brevity. I wanted her to laugh. I wanted her to have, something to chuckle about. And thankfully she did, right? But maybe you don't want to go the Brian route of suggesting Senior Mingle when you're within a month of having lost a loved one, right? Maybe I'm thinking that's not the right. I don't expect your brother anytime is going to be saying, oh, could you come right for us? Yeah, no. I'm not going to wait for the phone to ring, right? So I like that idea because you could learn the right way to do it. Or at least my understanding is you could pick what you feel is the right way to do it. Because you can pick multiple things, right?
You can pick all sorts of things,
All right, very cool. And you would say...
everyone's going through something.
Sure. Boy, don't I know it.
Everyone is going through something, and you just all need a little encouragement sometimes. And this is the place where you can find help to say the right thing or do the right thing, and just really encourage people because it's important. You never know what someone's going through.
And I would say even if it turns out to be, it's just the thought that counts. That someone going through a tough time would go, okay, you went through all these different things. You did everything that you could with me in mind and what I was up against, good or bad, right? What I was up against.
Right.
Just the thought that you were thinking about them is enough to put a smile on another human being's face.
Right.
Right.
Right. And that's usually the response I get. Like, wow, I can't believe you were thinking of me, or thank you so much. These words help.
Right.
And you have to say exactly what is written on the meme or
Right.
suggested, but it just gives you an idea of what you can say or how to handle a certain situation or what that person may be thinking.
Sure.
I never thought that saying,
Oh, that's a good
mingle
point.
or whatever.
Sure. See
Not
me.
a good idea.
Right. Well, that's a good point because then you're it's kind of a teaching tool as well.
Yes. Yes.
Right? Because you learn, well, here's how other people have handled it, or did you ever think of saying this? No.
Exactly.
No, I didn't. No. I thought senior mingle was the joke, right? So, that sounds like a really great thing to be able to do for other people. And I would say when we talk about your all natural being, and if Henry were on, he'd be saying the same thing. He'd be going, "Look, it's time that we just found ways to treat each other a little cooler than we have been." Right?
Right.
It find ways of reminding people that they're special to you just for being them. Right? That they're worthy of your thought in either a difficult time or an exciting time. They're still worthy of you taking the time to let them know they're special to you. And I think that's fantastic. I can't find the downside in it.
No, there isn't. There isn't.
All right. So what else?
He comes from the world of my brother who started it. He comes from the world of the oil industry.
Okay.
Senior vice president of marketing and finance, and walked away from that to start this. It's something he's been thinking about for 15, 20 years. And finally said, and I'm doing it. I'm encouraging myself. I'm going to do it. So I'm just really proud of him for doing it finally.
Good for him. Drinking his own Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, he would have to know then, I would think, right? What better way to launch a company than to be the target market of the consumer that your company is going to address? I think that would have to be huge.
It's huge.
All right, so what do you got going on? How long are you on vacation? What are you doing? I don't want to...
Today is our last day.
Okay.
It'll be fun explaining that to 4-year-olds. They're going home today.
Mm-hmm.
But it's been really, really fun and exciting. Just to watch her, the first day we went to Magic Kingdom and just, she is a princess,
For sure.
And we went to Hollywood Studios. And she was like, but there's no princesses here. I was like, yeah, no, not really. So we went back to Magic Kingdom yesterday. So she's just, it's great. It's fun. I went maybe 15 years ago with Tyler, my son, who had no interest in going back now.
Yeah, I can see that.
Of course.
I can see that.
Fine. I would love to save the money. Thank you. And,
talk about encouragement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And going back with a 4-year-old little girl is just like, who is animated to the tilt, So it's been a blast. Been a blast.
Very cool. So then you have a full day of activities. Actually, you have a full day, and then you go.
No, actually, we're leaving. We're gonna have breakfast with Mickey, and then we're out of here. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I don't want to hold you up. If you can get to breakfast with Mickey, don't let me hold you up. We're into our closing 1 hour and 22 minutes, so I don't want to keep you from your family. But thank you so much, not just for calling in today and catching me up on Encourage X, the letter X, encouragex.com. And just thank you for everything, for all these years, driving me, being there for me at the hospital, being my boss, keeping me in line, and, not letting me get in any more trouble than I didn't last very long at that gig, so I must have gotten in some kind of trouble. But
you were there for at least a year, I think.
Yeah, you know me.
That's like 10 in TV years.
Right. But for all these years, thank you for everything. And let me just, I'll leave it this way. Thank you for being the woman that causes me to sit up straight when I know you're around, right? I mean that sincerely. You're a great role model and a great teacher for me. So you have been doing this Encourage X long before your brother came up with a website. You've been doing it for me
Great.
since the very first time I met you. So
well, thank you.
it's the truth. I'm just calling it as I see it. And then, all right, very cool. All right, my friend, I'll let you go and get to breakfast. I would suggest, I was going to say encourage, but that just didn't sound right. I would encourage or suggest people to go to encouragex.com, see what it is that Sue and I have been talking about, see what it is that her brother's working on, and I think that you'll be very glad that you did. Sue, we're going to let you run, get to your family, get to breakfast with Mickey. Thank you so very much just for everything over the years. I super appreciate it.
So awesome. Oh, of course, right.
All right, my friend. I love you too. I'll talk to you soon.
All right.
Okay. Bye now.
Bye-bye.
All right. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to run to a quick break, and then we will be back to launch our final, let's call it about an hour and 15 minutes. Oh, look at that. Oh, breaking news, tropical storm. Oh, Gordon, look at that, a tropical storm Gordon. I got to call my friends at Tri-H2 and let them know. So we're going to go ahead, kick off. Well, you know what? Let's kick off. No, let's do the bottom of the hour, and then we'll come back, and then we'll wrap it up after that. All right. Please stand by.
You're listening to the #1 rated all-natural being with Brian Brawdy here on IPMNation.com. Isn't it time for you to renew your rogue?
Top of the day from the bottom of the hour. You're listening to the #1 rated all-natural being here on IPMNation.com. Thank you so very much for stopping over and hanging out with us. All right, welcome back. Once again, we are now in the closing 1 hour. Well, it's more like 17 minutes, more than 16 minutes, but 1 hour and 16 and a half minutes of our 24-hour little soiree here at All Natural Being, the ramp up for the record run. You know, to be honest with you, with the brain shunt and everything else going on, just wanted to see if I could even stay awake for 24 hours, to see if I could even, just keep bringing it for 24 hours. And I think it's a good report card. I think we're hitting it with flying colors, is my estimation. So we'll see what the days and weeks, few months ahead. But I think right now we're going to commit to go ahead and push the 81 to win for the world record. Now, admittedly, there's some things maybe we can talk about. We can talk about that for the next few minutes, and then I'm going to toss it in the final hour and go through and thank everyone that's been involved. But in our closing few minutes here, admittedly, there's some things that I need to do. I need to figure out the internet. I need to figure out maybe some of the transitions. I need to figure out some of the other things that'll make that 81 hours doable. Because I'd hate to have to talk for 81 hours nonstop. So I'll be doing a little more research about how they got to the record as soon as I hear back from Guinness and deciding what it is, what are the parameters for the world record attempt, then I'm going to do it. And I think as I look at the opportunity, the real benefit behind it is being able to say to people, do something that scares you. We talk about that. Do something that you're absolutely not certain that you'll pull it off. Do something that maybe you're not already great at, that you're brand new at. You know, I joke now that I have the face for radio. In my mind, it's not a joke, right? But are there things that you're waiting on in life? And I guess maybe a better question is, what are you waiting on in life? But are there things that you go, yeah, I could put my heart's highest priority top of my list if I did X? What would that X? So Sue's brother's website is called encouragex.com. Well, I'm just like, imagine, daydream X, however you want to fill it out, and then fill in the variable. What could you do? I never would have thought that I would have hit, let me just say, most certainly after the brain surgery, I never would have thought I would have hit the 300th episode. I didn't think I was going to make it out. I just didn't think I was going to make it. So what is it that you're sitting on? What is it that you're waiting for to put your heart's highest priority top of your list? Because I think there's a lot of people, and we said a little bit, we touched on this somewhat yesterday. There will be a sign, inevitably, tomorrow on highways all across the country. And the signs will say number of people killed this month, this year, right? It'll be talking about the number of people that got on the highway, thought they had all kinds of time left, and they were going one exit, 2 exits, 2 hours, 2 states. They were going however far. And unfortunately, they were involved in an accident, and that accident took their life. I'm not being macabre. I'm simply saying that you and I both know you go into work tomorrow, and at some point there'll be a sign across the highway say X number of traffic deaths so far this year. Now, I don't know this for sure, but some of them very well could have been one day when it's right, when I can perfect it, then I'll go ahead and put my heart's highest priority top of the list. Right? Then I'll go ahead and pull the trigger. Then I'll go ahead and be special to someone. Then I'll go ahead and be special to myself. As Henry says, encourage with compassion. He says we keep waiting for life to change when it is us that has to change. So I think for me in this 81 to win, it's a silly little thing, right? It's, world record. Do I really, let me say this. I couldn't care less if my name is ever in a book about a world record of me standing and blathering on and on. for 81 hours. I care immensely if over that 81 hours I can craft a show that will make a positive impact in people's lives. I guess in a way, I'm like Sue's brother. I'm like Encourage X. If I could encourage people to do that, then it will mean something to me. But as far as getting into the record, I have to tell you, I've never, I mean, Sue had made mention of the way I dress, or if anyone knows me. I literally couldn't care less about so many things. I'm just happy to have survived this far. I've been happy to survive this long. And I haven't talked about it at length, but it's probably just a good thing to finish up the hour with. My younger brother, Brett, who I miss, ended up with a tumor, multiple tumors, and ended up with cancer. And it killed him. So then I'm confronted with the understanding that, all right, why wasn't my tumor cancerous? Why didn't my tumor kill me? So believe me when I say I'm just thrilled to still be here. Just thrilled. So if I make 81 to win, I just I can't muster any concern about my name being in a record book. That's not why I would do it. I would do it because I hope that people would look at it and go, yeah, he knew nothing about radio. He knew, right? When I first, Patrick at Sweetwater, I remember him trying to teach me simple concepts on the board, or David Ray Bowman and his friends going, have you ever heard about a voice processor? Do you even know what that is? No, I don't. So I think what I would use that 81 to win is to highlight the question, what the hell are you waiting for? Now, if you're one of those ones that have already put your heart's highest priority top of the list, God love you. But when I first started this, I can remember, I say to my friends at Telestream and Wirecast, I remember they got me all caught up, all revved up, all ready to go. Then I had the brain tumor, 3 operations, amnesia. I remember at one point calling back. Well, I couldn't remember anything that they taught me. Right? I couldn't remember. So I'm hoping that through doing this, that people could go, yeah, you know what? He was a little nutty. Granted, he had some challenges. But he kept living his life like he was absolutely thrilled to still be here. And I'll thank everybody here in the next hour. Right? I don't want to end the 24-hour marathon as I did so with my same performance as I did at the hydrocephalus walk in Soldier Field 2 years ago. Right? But if I go through with this, and there's nothing now that I suspect. Yes, Sean, thank you very much. It is. Thank you, Henry, very much. Let's take a quick call. Good morning. Welcome to All Natural Being. Who's this?
This is Janice Brawdy.
Janice!
Awful sister that's been dialing the wrong freaking number.
Oh, that's okay.
For 22 hours.
Oh, really? Yeah,
Yeah,
because I have to be honest with you. I wondered where you were. I thought, I can't believe.
Oh, my God. And we're in Myrtle Beach, and we're staying at a lovely place, but we don't have Wi-Fi. We can't get the password to work, and my internet here is really, really spotty. But, B, you're doing a phenomenal
Thank you,
job.
sis.
I'm very, very proud of you. Are you there?
Yes, I am.
Oh, okay. I'm very proud of you.
Thank you very much.
And yeah. So, okay. And you know me being your sister, I always have a million ideas.
Right.
I love that you've got the September is Childhood Cancer Awareness Month. You got the gold ribbon on your, in the frame of your studio. You need to put your number. You need to put your number on there as well.
Right. Well,
So
to be honest with you, sis, the reason we didn't have the number up is that other than for about 35, 40 minutes this morning, the phones have been ringing off the hook. I mean, we've had so many people calling in, and I'll get in the next hour to thank everyone that helped as a pacer, that helped, kind of push me through it. We've had so many people call in that simply putting the number in the thread in that particular moment, and we only have 4 phone lines here.
Right,
so it was overrun from that, but that's what we're going to do for the next one. And I think what we're going to do, Henry Noel and Wayne Noel and Rita and I from Transitional Radio and I have been talking about, will we put in, will we put in an additional couple of phone lines so that we can keep it going? And will one call roll over into the other? But the response has been so great that...
Yeah, no, you've been doing a great job.
I've kind of held the number back just out of respect for the people,
and I know,
right? You know what? Calling in.
Must think and your listeners must be thinking I'm crazy because I keep going, what's the number? What's the number?
That's okay.
And I've been dialing the wrong number. So.
Well, just so you know, next time, 833-GO-BE-YOU. Go be you.
No, and then, all right, so somehow I managed to screw that up too. So if you could also say, because I knew it was go be you.
Right.
But anyways, if you could also just say the number.
Yeah,
so
you got
that
it.
people like me don't have to go, okay, gee, where is G? You know what I mean?
Fair enough.
So
Fair enough.
So I apologize for not calling in earlier.
This is
but
great.
Evidently, I have been dialing the wrong number.
Oh, you've been dialing Go Be Zoo. See, I hate that. I tried to get Go Be Zoo. Yeah. We've tried. A lot of people don't. A lot of people don't know that.
Saying busy, call back.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wow, there's a lot of, and then, so I'm on my cell phone, so I can't hear if you're talking on the phone to somebody because I'm on the phone. So anyways, but.
All right. Well, I thank you.
But I got through. Yay.
Yes, yay. Hey, thank you very much. Please, enjoy. We're getting ready. It's the top of the hour, so we're going to kick off the final episode here in the 24 hours. So you made it in. Thank you so much for calling. I was beginning to think, well, I even said to John, I haven't heard from Jan. Is she okay? So thank you so much for the effort. I super appreciate it.
Was dialing the wrong number.
That's okay. Go Be Zoo. Yeah, I'll get that for the next time. Go Be Zoo. What? Yeah, never mind.
All right. Well, listen, I love you.
I love you too, sis.
You've done a fantastic job.
Great. Thank you so very much. We're going to leave that as the last word. Thank you, sis. Have a blast. I'll talk to you soon.
Okay.
Okay, honey. I love you. Okay, bye.
I love you too.
Bye. All right, we're going to go ahead. Throw it to the top of the hour. And then come back to the final episode of our 24-hour marathon here. I've got all kinds of people to thank, so stick around if you don't mind, if you got nothing else going on this morning, although it is already 9 a.m. on a Monday morning. We're going to go ahead, run to a quick break, and we will be right back.
IPMNation.com.